Namaha. Om Shri Babaji, Sadguru Babaji, Mahaguru Babaji Namaha.
Namaste. Welcome to the Temple of Kriya Yoga and to the Babaji Festival. It's so good to see all the faces from the past and new faces. My name is Swami Pranananda, and really, I think it's been always one of the highlights of our year. The Babaji Festival, honoring and really communing at this point in time with the lineage and with our teachers is such an important aspect of just life in general. And I'm really glad to be here and to be here with you all. We've called it the Babaji Festival of Joy over the years because it's happy. This is springtime. It's when we have the hamsas coming in. And if you hear hamsas, they're outside my window and we may hear them once in a while here. So we have just so many things that we're doing today. And sometimes we've had this for many years in person. Now we're very, very fortunate to still be able to meet with you online and in person in a different way. The lineage and what it means to we Kriya bonds and friends of Kriya and those that come. For those of you that are new, the Holy Kriya lineage is a lineage that stems back very far. And it really is a lineage of householdership. We have families, we work. It is something where Kriya action is such a part of our everyday life. It's really very practical, I must say. And with the teachings that we have, it has really enhanced, I can say, my life, and I think many others, in that it brings that which is not only just, not holy only, but spiritual and good in life. It helps us bring that balance together. And we do know it's a crazy world. So this festival, we really have quite a few different type of joyful, happy, fun, and very interesting speakers and musicians. We're very, very fortunate to have Swami Nadananda, Mahaswami, and Janice Nakashima, who will be performing a world premiere music piece called Yoga, composed by Janice. And so we're all very happy to and excited to listen to this and really sitting and meditating and listening to the beauty of the spheres. We'll be opening the program with Swami Mahashastrananda, who will give us our initial blessing and ritual that we always open the festival with. For our meditation, Swami Pranananda, Mahaswami, will be talking about Kriya Yoga in the ever-present now. The now which we are so glad to be here with you in. And then we always, what would a festival be like without our beloved Swami Sumithrananda, Helene Palela, who will be telling a Kriya story, getting to know you, EWE. The story of a lion who thought he was a lamb, bringing this idea of walking the path and sharing, because the living tradition of Kriya Yoga is our theme for the day. And we each one of these live this tradition in our own way, very unique, yet we are bonded by that thread. And of course, we do always welcome Swami Adinadananda, Marcia Sachs, as our astrologer and talking about lunations and new beginnings in 2023. It's an exciting year. So it's good to know the ins and outs and ups and downs. And Swamiji always gives us a very lovely interpretation of things to look forward to. And I will be back with you after all of these enjoyable speakers and presentations and rituals. And I hope you enjoy the festival. Namaste, Sri Babaji. Thank you.
To begin the Babaji Festival this afternoon, what I'd like to do is just chant a series of prayers that we use. They come from a puja ritual, which I used to have done. The ritual itself is quite involved and takes a long time. And so what I've done is just pulled out a few of the prayers that I think are special and maybe applicable to the Babaji Festival this afternoon. And I'll open up with a blessing. With the blessing, we do some water blessing, a little bit of a water blessing. And we also have, I have flowers, which I use for the blessing of both the deities and the guru and the lineage. As I said, I'll go through a series of prayers, and then at the end, I'll conclude with the Gayatri mantra. So I would ask if you come to a comfortable seated position, you can have your eyes closed, or you can watch as I do the ceremony. Shanti, Shanti. Om Achyutaya Namaha. Om Om Anantaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Om Aim Saraswati Namaha. Om Gananam Twa Ganam Pitam Have Mahe Kavim Kavinam Upamas Ravas Tamam Jas Jarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspat Nijuri Nitri Nutivihid Sida Sadi Sadinam. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha. And now what I'll do is I'll chant a prayer. This is to Lord Shiva, and it's chanted 9 times. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshi Amamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandinan Ritur Mukshi Mamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandinan Ritur Mukshi Mamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandinan Ritur Mukshi Mamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandinan Ritur Mukshi Amamritat Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sungandim Pushtivardhanam Uravu Kamiva Bandinan Ritur Mukshi Amamritat. And now what I'll do is, along with the chanting, I apply Shiva ash to the forehead, kumkum, and sandal paste to the forehead with prayers that go along with that. Beginning with the Shiva ash. Om Tat Purushaya Chimahi Mahadeva Dimahi Tano Rudra Prachodayate. And then sandal paste. Om Gandhadwaram Duradasham Nishapushtam Kardashinam Ishwaram Sarvabhutanam Tamihopawaya Shriyam Gandhadwara Yami. And then finally kumkum, which is a red paste. Om Aim Hrim Krim Chamundai Vishe Namaha. Om Aim Hrim Krim Chamundai Vishe Namaha. Om Aim Hrim Krim Chamundai Vishe Namaha. And now I give a blessing with the incense. Vanaspatjud Ave Divahi Nanagandam Swaram Vitahi Agreya Dupa Deepanam Dupoyam Prate Griyatam. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We have a lot of symbols in yoga. So, symbol for the light, the Jyoti light, the light of illumination. Om Antar Jyoti, Bahir Jyoti, Prachak Jyotihi, Parat Paraha, Jyotir Jyotihi, Swayam Jyotihi, Rasham Jyotihi, Shivos Smayaham. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Then I just conclude the opening ritual, chanting the Gayatri mantra and the Isha mantra. The Gayatri is chanted 3 times. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diho Yona Prachodayate. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varanyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diho Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varanyam Bargo Devasya Dhimahi Diho Yona Prachodayat. Om. And then I just conclude with the Isha mantra. Om Purna Purna Madidam Purnat Purna Mudakshate Purnatsya Purna Madhya Purna Miwa Vaishashate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
I'd like to offer this piece titled Yoga. It's an homage to yoga and the Kriya Yoga lineage. The text is from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Also, if you happen to have a headset or earphones, we're going to be playing this from a recording. You'll just hear it a lot more clear if you have something like that to listen to, unless you have, really good speakers.
Namaste. The essence of Kriya Yoga you have just heard. Kriya Yoga, a living tradition for you, for me, for each of us, to enliven, to vivify our lives. Pharananda said at the beginning, we are a householder lineage. All of those who come here live in the world. Kriya Yoga is a tradition that helps you in your everyday life. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is the cessation of the fluctuation of the mind. That's a pretty good trick, isn't it? To find something that stops the fluctuation of the chitta, the mind stuff. Yoga, coming together, the yoking together of the mind and the body, stops that fluctuation of the mind. But how is it done? Kriya is a very practical science, mystical path for each of us to walk alone. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The chakric system. You've been given through this beautiful composition that Janice made, drawing together the wisdom of Sri Patanjali and the wisdom of Kriya. Focusing your attention here. Going to the base of the spine. Om Namo Bhagavate. Over the top. Te Ve Su De Ba Ya Om. You have a method. A method to stop the fluctuation of the chitta. Where does this lead us? What does it lead us to? Why? It leads us to Ananda, bliss, the bliss of life, the bliss of life that pours down upon you if you open yourself to it, if you allow yourself to feel it, if you accept it into your life, which leads you to samadhi. Nice Sanskrit word, but what does it mean? What is samadhi? It is the awareness, it is the merging of your consciousness with life, the letting go, the dropping of the ego self, the letting go for just a moment of the desires of the mind. Yoga, chitta, vritti, narodaha. Bringing together the yoga, the balancing of the mind and the body. Letting go of the I, me, mind. Becoming one with life. Seeing that which thou art and becoming one with it. You have everything you need. And the mantra, the song, the chant begins with Om. A-U-M, the sustaining bindu. The the strength that you need to walk along the path. The U, the concentration that is needed. The the awareness. The sustaining bindu. The little dot, if you will. Detachment, detachment. Om, the sound, the word that represents all manifest and unmanifest reality. Everything is contained within the Om. Everything that you need, that I need, it is within the Om. But what is the strength? We have to take care of this. We have to take care of this. We have to do the best we can. Drink fresh water, eat fresh food, breathe fresh air, to vivify and strengthen this vehicle, this temple that we live within. With the strength, we gain the skills. Concentration, the yoking of the mind and the body. From the strength, the concentration flows forth awareness. Awareness of that which thou art. The beauty of life which thou art. And then when you see all the beauty of life, all the beautiful things in manifest reality and in the unmanifest, but the manifest, oh, we are lured by them. There must be detachment to say, I'm not this. I need to keep this strong. I need this vehicle. This is how I'm finding my enlightenment here. How you are finding your enlightenment here. But detach from it. Always one foot, one big toe on the ground in this lineage. But no matter what happens in your life, what changes the new year brings forth, which it will, many changes will come forth. They always do. Every breath is a change. You have leading to all of us a path, a tradition, a teaching, set of teachings. Pranandaji often said, love the teaching, not the teacher. And I always said to him, well, you can love the teacher too. And he'd say, love the teachings, Swamiji, love the teachings. The teachings will not let you down. The teachers, my Guru would say, come and go. We are so grateful at this moment to all of those who are here, all of the teachers who have shared the teaching so that you and I can practice them today, can bring them together. Again, this beautiful song brought us everything. Om. Yoga Chitta Vritti Narodaha. The cessation of the fluctuations of the mind, my beloved. All it means is, for just a minute, all these thoughts that rise and fall, they cease. Oh, that's wonderful. It's so wonderful. Just a moment and they're not there. Let's see if we can make it happen. Shut the eye for just a moment. A little help. Do the resurrection breath. Turn the head to the left and exhale twice. Now bring the head back to the center. And just for a moment, focus the attention at the sun center. Let the breath breathe itself. Did you catch it? Just a little tiny bit of the cessation of the fluctuations. And then that beautiful Om Namo Bhagavate Te Be Su De Va Ya. Up and down your spine. Even, steady, up and down the spine. This helps. This is neutralizing. It is balancing. Neutralizing the karma, balancing the chakras. To support Yoga Chitta Vritti. Yoga Chitta Vritti Narodaha. Leading you to Ananda, leading you to Samadhi. And in the leading to Samadhi, my beloved, we come back to Om, letting go of everything that you think you are and experiencing the oneness that thou art. This life. Thank you. Shati Namaste. We will have some instrumental music to meditate a short bit before we move on to our story. focus on the altar. You can close your eyes and listen to a wonderful story. Sumithrananda ji?
Hello, everybody. I'm going to actually give two different stories. One was written in a book I wish I had written. It's called The Clearing by Alan Arkin, the wonderful actor. I wish I had written this book. It's just beautiful. It takes place in a clearing, many kinds of animals. And the main character is a lemming, who in the previous book left his family, who were all preparing to jump off into the ocean, because that's what lemmings do. And he comes to this clearing, which is a group who are all trying to kind of find themselves. And there's a guru who's a big bear. And boy, he reminds me of Kriyananda so much, everything that he says. And this is a very small part of the story, but it connects with the story, other story that I'm going to tell you. Bubber, who is the lemming, said quietly, "I want to know the truth." The bear looked at him sharply. "But you already know it," he said. "You've been told the truth by Marion. You've been told the truth by Russell. You've been told it by AJ. You felt it pressing on your every day you've spent in the clearing. You've heard it whisper in your dreams, and you were born with it resounding in each fiber of your being. You knew it with absolute and perfect clarity the day you fell into the earth, and still you insist that it's a mystery. Do you think that it will help if I tell you the truth? Do you think that it will help if I, in a new way, or if I cry and plead for you to believe me, or if I chase after you for the rest of my life with the truth held out like a dose of medicine? Do you think that you will believe it then? I will believe it if you tell it to me," said Bubber. "I know what you say is true. I have no doubt about your wisdom and your sincerity. Then I will tell you the truth," said the bear. "Through a series of unfortunate circumstances and bad choices, we in the animal kingdom have allowed ourselves to believe that these strange shapes of ours, these lemming shapes, these snake shapes, these duck shapes, are what we really are. What this puny conception is all there is to reality. That is, he banged his chest with his paw several times, is what it's all about. It's not true. This is what's true." The bear settled himself inches away from Bubber and looked deep, deep into his eyes and said, "Within each of us is a lion, and though we turn in a million different directions to find peace and happiness, it is this lion that we are desperately trying to find, that and nothing else. It is the lion that we have abandoned, and it is the lion in which we long to return. We try to ignore him, but we can't. He can always be heard, no matter how dimly, and when we try to still his voice, we feel terrible pain, great remorse, and unfathomable loneliness. That is it in a nutshell. It's the whole story. Why do you trouble it so much, we of the clearing? It's simple. Those of us who have found our way here have learned the voice of the lion a little louder than our fellows. And our lions, tired of their bondage, are clawing at their cages, eager to be set free. Suddenly, the bear stood up on his hind legs. "We are lions," he shouted. with his arms spread wide, and his voice reverberated through the forest, silencing the million noises that had filled the morning air. We are lions. Once upon a yogi time, a baby lion got separated from his pride and wandered about looking for something to eat. The lion was quite young and did not know the ways of the world. He came upon a herd of sheep and plaintively cried, "I'm so hungry. Feed me." A young sheep who had just lost the lamb took pity on the young lion and started to teach him the ways of the world from a sheep's point of view. The lion learned quickly to eat grass, stay close to the flock, and be ready to run at the slightest hint of danger. And above all, to watch out for lions. Our lion grew and grew. It's amazing how much muscle grass can put on. One day, a lion came along and saw the flock grazing in the clover. Lo and behold, he spied another lion amongst the sheep, quite contentedly munching on the grass. Mr. Lion, mouth dropped open, and he tried to make sense of what he was seeing. When he could stand it no longer, he ran to our young lion. Sheep scattered all about. They were quite afraid. But our young lion was not as swift at assessing the situation. Mr. Lion caught up with him and demanded the young lion tell him, "Why are you hanging out with supper?" The young lion said, "These are my friends and family, and please don't eat me." Mr. Lion laughed and said, "You think you're a sheep. Come to the river and let me show you something." They got to the river, and Mr. Lion said, "Look, what do you see?" Young Lion said, "I see you." And Mr. Lion laughed. He said, "No, you see you." But it was hard for him to believe. "You're lying to me." Mr. Lion said, "No, you have forgotten who you are. Sit still and keep repeating, 'I am a lion, I am a lion, I am a lion.'" Our young lion decided to try this. He went into a cave and spent many, many, many months reflecting and using this mantra, "I am a lion, I am a lion, I am a lion." Suddenly, he felt the strength come to his heart and surge throughout his body and being. He walked out into the sunlight, threw back his massive head, and let out a deep roar. Om Tat Sat Om.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste. Welcome, everybody. As we celebrate Babaji and the Kriya lineage, we honor our Guru Goswami Kriyananda and his Guru Sri Shailaji by including astrology, as they did, as part of the living tradition of Kriya Yoga. Their knowledge of astrology was one of the many gifts of wisdom they passed along to us. Hang on a second. Today, I'll be talking about lunations, new moons, and solar eclipses. And first, I'll start with some spiritual concepts. And then I'll go forward into some things that are more practical in terms of our everyday life. The central principle that I want to talk about is as above, so below. Above, there is a physical sun in the center of our solar system. Above, there is also a moon that goes through a series of phases as it orbits around the earth. Below, here we are influenced by the movement of those luminaries. The sun, according to astrology, is an external amplifier in our ability to be vital and active in the outside world. The moon in astrology is an internal amplifier of our emotional state and our ability to be deeply receptive to the subtle states of reality. Every 29 and a half days, the sun and moon are in the same location as measured from Earth, and this is the new moon. It's a moment of balance and of power and a fresh start, the new beginning. In Kriya Yoga, and in many types of yoga, we study the cerebral spinal axis, the astral system within us called the chakras. We relate each of the chakras to a planet. For today, we're going to focus on two chakras, the sun center, the Ajna chakra, and the moon center, the Chandra chakra. The location of the sun center is the point between the eyebrows on the forehead, and that's called the sun center in yoga. And the moon center is right, well, I can't turn all the way around, but right at the base of the spine, at the base of the skull where the spine meets the brain. And many meditations have as their objective of bringing the sun and the moon into balance with one another. If the sun and the moon come into balance, even for a millisecond, higher states of awareness, such as samadhi, enlightenment, vritti narodha, occur. And certainly, there is a sense of deep peace and well-being. And coming back from this state of balance, you start afresh, the new beginning, the new moon. So what I'm really saying is this subtle and physical new moon is a point of power, and it's important for us to become aware and acknowledge the creative principle within us. Then use that creativity to bring your vision of the future into being, because aham brahmasmi, we are that divine creative principle. Think about this. We're always saying namaste. And namaste is not only a greeting and acknowledgement of the God within anyone, it's an external symbol of bringing the sun and the moon, the right and the left sides of our being, into balance. So if the sun and the moon are aligned at the new moon, what are you supposed to do with this information? Number one, pay attention. Know when the new moons are. These are times, and let's call it, let's say a day before to a day after the new moon. These are times, the new moon, when you have the opportunity to begin or recommit to your most important goal. So once a month, you have a time to do this. You don't have to wait for New Year's Day to start. To be honest, you should know what your life goal is and then recommit each month at the new moon. And you can consider choosing what I like to call an overarching goal, along with maybe a more material one that relates to your everyday life. I think of these types of goals as capital letter words like love, peace with a capital P, compassion with a capital C, or wisdom. These overarching goals imbue your everyday aspirations with a spiritual intention. You might want to use a mantra or the mantra related to your Ishta Devata to define your goal. But you can also affirm in English. use any language and visualize the ideal image of what you want to put energy into. And some people also do rituals that relate to their goals, whatever it is. So if you know astrology, and many of you here I know some astrology, some more than others, but even if you know a little bit of astrology, you can take the chart of the new moon and analyze it for helpful information. You can look at your own chart and you can see where the new moon falls. What sign is the new moon in? How can the energy of that sign help you? What house, what area of life does it fall in your natal chart? Does the new moon conjunct or oppose a planet in your chart? That's where the karmic lesson of the new moon is for you. And eclipses, a solar eclipse is a new moon. And where a new moon has a 1 month surge of energy, so for the new beginning of the new moon, it has an effect for a month, a solar eclipse is considered to have at least a 1-year effect. So we just had a solar eclipse this past Wednesday in 29 degrees Aries. This is basically still in effect. So how do we use this? Let's find some ways to use this. For example, the solar eclipse is in the sign Aries. So you can reflect on and contemplate, how do you manage the Aries energy, the Mars energy in your own life? Can you be assertive without being aggressive? Can you take all that life force from the Aries eclipse and channel it towards your highest goal without the energy draining into lots of trivial activities? So those are some questions to contemplate, for example, at this eclipse. The eclipse was also square to Pluto, which is now at 0 degrees Aquarius. Pluto just went into Aquarius. So the eclipse is a trigger for that Pluto into Aquarius. And you can think about it as that the eclipse triggered Pluto's urge for the keywords that we'll use, revolution and transformation. If you're trying to transform or improve yourself, that can be very good. If your plan is to transform others to your way of believing or thinking, remember that Pluto, as the power that Pluto has, can skew even the best of intentions if you're trying to change others towards you being the great dictator or a dictatorial person or an autocratic person. So you have to think about how, especially over the past few days, how you experienced that energy and what you did with it and what you would like to do with it. Also, the sun and moon and Jupiter are conjunct in the eclipse chart, this past solar eclipse chart. That makes it a super excellent time for mantra or affirmation about things like wisdom, learning, abundance, or generosity. Reflect on how generous our lineage and our lineage, right? And the saints and sages of many traditions and lineages have been in sharing and passing along what they've learned about the spiritual path. Unbelievable amounts of blessed, good information, learning, practices are available to us today because of their generosity. And I have a Jupiterian affirmation that I like and use. It is, I am open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. I'm going to repeat that for you. You are open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. You are open and receptive to all the good and abundance in the universe. Before we conclude, let's take a quiet minute to give you time to reflect on your goal, your objective, the theme of your new beginning, starting right now at the point of this eclipse, starting now, powered by this new moon, which is also a solar eclipse. So take a moment, just a few moments, close your eyes, relax into your mind, quiet your mind, and visualize or affirm what you want right now. Then come on back from that. I hope you had a good thought. And just to bring it all together and remind you that as above, so below, there is an external sun and an internal sun. There is an external moon and an internal moon. They are linked, they are connected symbolically and actually. Use meditation to balance your inner sun and moon. Find ways to use the external new moon to infuse your month with the highest good. You can look at calendars, you can go online. There's always something that will tell you when the next new moon is, so that you can use that period of time to invoke, to start, to begin, to balance. And really, honestly, new beginnings don't have to be at the new moon. You can affirm and restart your life goals with each new breath and with each new thought. May you be blessed at this Babaji Festival, now and always. Namaste.
Thank you all for sharing with us this Babaji. It is so good to once again affirm the teachings and the fellowship of being together. The closing is going to be a song called the Kriyananda song. And the words and music have been composed by Swami Muktananda, that's Barbara Gordon. And it will be played by Nadananda and Janice. We really do look forward to this. And it's a very way that we, in a playful way, honor our guru. And after the conclusion of the festival, after the Kriyananda song, you're invited to listen to a teaching on Sri Babaji, which Swami Pranananda shared with us in 2008. And you can go to our website, www.yogakriya.org, for the link to this recording. And it is there for any time listening, or if you'd like to continue now, afterwards and continue the festival. You may also want to take the festival in your own life for the day by perhaps having prasad, some food, taking a walk, contemplating on teachers and lineage, and just your life in general afterwards. May you this day follow the paths of wisdom and goodness, just as the sun and moon follow their paths. May you follow these paths forever in harmony and in happiness. May they lead you to that non-injuring knowledge, which is also the source of healing and of help to others. Believe that this knowledge comes to you from every side and from within, revealing what is meaningful for your ears to hear and for your eyes to see. Divine One, seek wisdom, find goodness. Namaste.
Before we do the song that Lynn was talking about, we're going to do a mantra to lead into it. And this mantra is a mantra that uses Kriyananda's name, so it's attuning to Kriyananda as a guru. And it was put together by Swami Narayananda to a fairly familiar mantric tune. So we're going to be chanting that. The words are Sri Guru Pragya Kriyanandaya Jaya Guru Harihara Vasudevaya. So you can catch it and chant along with this if you like. Shri Guru Pragya Kriyanandaya, Shri Guru Pragya Kriyanandaya, Hare Guru Hare Rama Vasudevaya, Jaya Guru Hare Hara Vasudevaya. Shri Guru Pragya Kriyanandaya, Shri Guru Pragya Kriyanandaya, Jaya Guru Hari Hara Vasudevaya, Jaya Guru Hari Hara Vasudevaya.
Namaste, and thank you all for joining us. May you be blessed and have ever greater blessings in your life. May you have a happy Babaji, and thank you, and for all the musicians and speakers that helped today and gave us such a beautiful day. Thank you. Namaste.